A cordial greeting. Today is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia speaking. At the time of recording this video, it is 6:15 a.m. local time in the Philippines, where Typhoon Tino or Kalmaegi is affecting the Visayas Islands, where it made landfall as a Category 1 typhoon and currently has maximum sustained winds of 145 km per hour. It is projected to continue moving west over the next 24 hours until eventually impacting the island of Palawan. Meanwhile, we are closely monitoring the evolution of a low-pressure system designated as Invest 90 watts, which may find favorable conditions to develop into a typhoon and strengthen significantly over the next 5 days. This future typhoon is of interest to parts of Luzon and also to Taiwan. Let's zoom into the infrared satellite imagery of Typhoon Kalmaegi. You can see that according to the infrared animation, it looks somewhat disorganized due to land interaction over the Visayas Islands. This means it should remain a Category 1 typhoon during the next 24 to 48 hours, but once it begins to move away from the Philippines, it will encounter conditions favorable for re-intensification and could strengthen into a Category 3 typhoon before making landfall in Vietnam. Today, there continues to be strong consensus among the track models, with nearly all of them maintaining a west-northwestward motion, and by Friday morning it should move across central Vietnam. Furthermore, ensemble members from different models also maintain a high probability of this track, so few changes are expected in the coming days regarding the forecast track. Model intensity guidance keeps the typhoon at Category 1 strength for the next 36 hours, but as it moves away from the Philippines, models suggest it will begin strengthening and potentially by Friday morning could become a Category 2 or Category 3 typhoon as it moves over Vietnam. Here we can see the projected wind gusts over the next 24 hours that will affect some of the Visayas Islands and reach the island of Palawan in about 12 hours. According to this projection, wind gusts exceeding 140 km per hour may impact the area. In addition, heavy rainfall will continue across parts of the Visayas, where totals of 150 to 400 millimeters are expected over the next 24 hours. Thus, the risk of landslides and flooding remains high. If we look at the official forecast, in 24 hours it will be passing near or over the island of Palawan as a Category 1 typhoon with maximum sustained winds of about 140 km per hour, and by Thursday morning it is forecast to be a Category 3 typhoon with maximum sustained winds of 185 km per hour. It is projected to make landfall over central Vietnam on Friday morning with maximum sustained winds of 170 km per hour. The model also projects peak wind gusts over 170 km per hour affecting parts of central Vietnam Thursday morning. Heavy rainfall is also expected, producing totals of 150 to 300 millimeters in Vietnam, which could lead to significant flooding across the region. Please take precautions due to the potential for flooding during the weekend. Now let's move on to Invest 90 watts, which remains disorganized for now. However, conditions will be very favorable for it to strengthen into a tropical storm and eventually into a typhoon. In fact, some models project it could become a major typhoon or a super typhoon as it moves toward northern parts of the Philippines and could eventually pose a threat to Taiwan. In general, global models keep this westward track over the next 5 to 6 days. Although there is still uncertainty in its future path, everything indicates that northern Philippines and Taiwan should closely monitor its development. Ensemble members show good consensus that its track may bring the future typhoon across Luzon. Still, uncertainty remains, as shown by the European ensemble, which presents various scenarios, some moving toward the Philippines and others closer to Taiwan. In pink, we can see members that indicate a super typhoon developing within about 5 days. The American model also shows considerable uncertainty, but most of its members depict a super typhoon developing before reaching northern Philippines or Taiwan. Interestingly, all members of Google's AI model show a Category 3 or Category 4 typhoon moving toward northern Philippines in about 5 days and then turning toward Taiwan. I will continue closely monitoring the evolution of Typhoon Kalmaegi or Tino and later the development of Invest 90 watts, as it could pose multiple threats to the Philippines or Taiwan. To make sure you don't miss these updates, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon to receive notifications when new videos are posted. I hope everyone in the Philippines stays safe during the passage of the typhoon.